hereby call this River Trail School District 26 Board of Education meeting to order at 7:01 p.m. Please take roll.
Grimpy.
Here.
Ronstadt.
Here.
Bianchini.
Here.
Fisher.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Friedland. Here. Camardo.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Great. Thank you. Please join me in rising and we say the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First up is the consent agenda. Looking over the consent agenda, are there any items that a member would like to remove and further discuss, or is there a question of clarification? Hearing none, I'd like to entertain a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda in its entirety, which includes the following: Board of Education meeting minutes from June 9th, 2026, Board of Education closed session meeting minutes from June 9th, 2026, the personnel report, actual payrolls, bills, and checks, press packet 121, 2026-2027 River Trail School District goals.
So moved.
Moved by Friedland,
Second.
second by Mr. Ronstadt.
Fisher.
Yes.
Friedland. Yes. Bianchini.
Yes.
Camardo.
Yes.
Ronstadt.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
And Grimpy.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, before moving on, I just want to welcome Tom as our new director. What's the official? Innovation and Technology.
You got it.
So welcome to your district. We're so happy to have you and look forward to the school year. Also wanted to thank Alicia. She couldn't be here tonight. I think she's celebrating with her team, but we thank her for her service. She's really brought us forward in so many ways over the past few years, and so we're excited that for her. But we'll miss her, and we welcome Tom to keep us moving forward with all our technology.
I will say a few words in a few minutes, so if y'all could hold tight for a little bit, and then we'll get you out. Thanks.
I invite any RTA members to approach the board at this time with any comments. No one's here right now. Visitor comments. At this time, I'd like to recognize any members of the audience to approach the board with their comment or question by completing a visitor comment card. Please do note that the board and administration typically does not respond, and if you wish for a response, please provide your name and number or email for a member of the board or administration to get back to you. Speakers are encouraged to limit their time for others to participate, a 3-minute time limit per speaker, with an overall 60-minute maximum for visitor comment per policy 2230. Right. No comments. Next is invite any members of the board to share any communications or anything they'd like to share over the past month. Been quiet?
Yeah.
I had a student at the summer school trails last week. It seemed busy, lots of students riding and walking to school. He had a great time. He did cooking and gardening, so I got to enjoy his muffins and cookies and soup they made one day. We didn't bring that, but it was great. So, okay, first up is you're up. So with your superintendent's report, Strategic Plan 2026 to 2031. This is an action item.
So I'm most excited because I am early on the agenda and not last. So as promised, I do want to have Tom come up. Come on up here and stand with me. Over the years, I've brought a lot of people up here and they love it. So it's my breaking in of you. So I just wanted to say a few words and give you all a little bit of Tom's background. I think I told Christy this was the fastest hiring, posting, screening, performance task process that I've ever done in my life. especially with the 4th of July holiday a week in the mix and vacation. So, but Tom made that really easy. Throughout the process, he did a fantastic job and was the front runner above and beyond everyone. And so really he made that easy. So it is a pleasure to introduce Thomas Foster, and you do go by Tom, yes? Okay. Who will be joining River Trails as our new Director of Innovation and Technology. So Tom brings a great blend of 10 years teaching experience, administrative vision and leadership, and also that operational technology. And so that is a background that you really don't find very often. Having served as both a building assistant principal and an educational technology director, Tom approaches digital learning through a user-centered and a student-first lens. He excels at leveraging technology not just as a tool, but a seamless driver for both operational efficiency and academic achievement, both of which align to our vision and our work here in River Trails. Tom holds a strong educational foundation, including 2 master's degrees, one in administrative leadership and another in secondary education. Tom's undergraduate degree is from University of Illinois, where he earned a bachelor's in English. Donna, I thought you would like that. She is my editor. Most recently, Tom served as the Director of Instructional Technology at St. Viator High School. There he spearheaded a full-scale ecosystem rollout. Students were bringing their own devices, which you can imagine with safety and security, a nightmare. And so he spearheaded the school owning their devices and rolling that out, which I can't even imagine what that would have been like. He established single sign-on integrations, managed digital curricula, led staff development, particularly in AI and digital citizenship. So prior to that role, he served as an assistant principal at Dundee Middle School, which is in District 300, and has had a lot of other key administrative and ed tech positions. So we are excited to have Tom, so please, again, give a warm welcome to Tom Foster. You had a chance to meet the board. If you want to do a handshake, I always call it like the tour. Yeah, do the round and.
Well, it's so nice to meet you. Thank you very much. Thank you for this opportunity. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Right, good to see you. Thank you for the opportunity.
The tour. Okay, so thank you for that. Again, feel free to dismiss whenever you all want. It's going to get really exciting here in a little bit as I move on to our strategic plan. Let me reorganize myself. Check my clicker.
You can stay.
Yeah.
I'm interested in the SIF, but I just don't know the day off.
I hear you.
Thank you. We'll touch base.
Nice to meet you guys.
Thank you. Good to see
Yes.
you. Thank you for coming.
Get your signature on a couple of
Sure.
documents.
Hey, it was nice to meet you.
Oh, nice meeting you. I'm working through Facebook.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so good evening. Tonight I am proud to finally present the end and last version of our strategic plan, a roadmap built on a simple, powerful promise, a mission and a vision, and I've mentioned this before, but one that we've deliberately chosen to keep, is that when we combine head ready and heart ready, we are working towards life ready learners. When you look at our 3 strategic priorities, we have learning systems, connections, and sustainability. I want to be clear that these goals are intentionally deep. So learning systems go beyond just curriculum, they go beyond just instruction, and connections go beyond just community. And we designed them that way to be very deep and multi-dimensional. So if we start with learning systems, it's easy to hear learning and think solely about textbooks and lesson plans, but our approach, again, goes far beyond traditional curriculum or basic instruction. So on this slide, you can see that the strategies support each goal. So we have 3 strategies per goal level. and they are interconnected components that make up learning. So strategy 1A is really aligning our universal curriculum so that every child in every classroom gets the same high standard of excellence. Strategy 1B is focusing on building a responsive continuum of support. This is where equity comes in that all kids get what they need when they need it. And strategy 1C is investing in a comprehensive professional learning system so that our teachers are equipped and prepared and empowered to meet those student needs. So in this plan, I've referenced our measures of success. We have several measures of success for each goal, and because again, that's a multidimensional goal, we wanted to make sure that we were not relying on one particular measure to measure the entire goal. So we're looking at a holistic suite of data from benchmarks from AIMSweb, MAP, state indicators like IAR, and then we are looking at cultural insights from the 5 essentials, aiming for exceptional growth across the board. Okay, next goal, connections. Again, this priority is much broader than just sending out monthly updates or hosting occasional community events. It's about building a pervasive community and a culture of trust and belonging. So through heart-ready practices, these strategies, 2A, we're working to actively reduce stressors for both students and staff. Through streamlined communication, strategy 2B, and intentional feedback structures, 2C, we are working to ensure our stakeholders just don't receive information, but feel valued, heard, and connected. So we will track these targets through several areas of student and staff belonging metrics, which you can see at the bottom of the bar graph, 4 different areas through Panorama and 5 essentials. So those will be our data measures for this particular piece of the goal. And then we also have a secondary data tracking measure of outreach and engagement. So we want to be viewing and monitoring newsletter engagements and setting clear print and digital targets. Our last goal focuses on resource and finance. So this priority has a distinct and intentional focus during this strategic plan. It hadn't been a very deliberate focus in the old plan, but it was embedded in various areas. So now we have a very specific focus on resources and sustainability. And we know that sustainability, we don't want it to be a buzzword. We want to make sure that we are looking at the long-term health of our staff, our facilities, and our fiscal foundation. So what you see reflected then in each strategy are basically those 3 components: financial stewardship, staff sustainability with the physical environment, and the workforce support. How we're going to measure these is holding a top-tier financial score and maintaining a clean, independent audit. I have been lectured by Ryan that a 4.0 score is really hard to get, especially since we have bottoms out. But the counter argument is that we wanted to have data points that were aggressive and top notch. We needed to work to get there. Staff sustainability, we are increasing to and holding steady at 92% teacher retention rate per year. Our baseline right now is at around 90%. And facility and infrastructure, we've talked a lot about maintaining our facilities. We have beautiful renovated buildings, and so we need to make sure that we are continuing to meet the ever-changing needs of the district and that the facilities support that work. That is a little bit hard to measure, but I think we are on the right track by having future maintenance plans and facility plans that will help us, have data points and objectives along the way. So next steps, what happens next? So approval tonight is really the spark that launches our execution plan. So 1, community transparency, working on releasing a community mailer to every district resident. Internal alignment, we will continue to conduct staff communications on the why and the how, and how this plan how they will see it in their work and how it will impact them, reassuring them that we're about stability and focus and not just like piling on new stuff. Internal systems and accountability, part of my ongoing work is to develop a continuous review process. How are we harvesting the data? How are we tracking the data, both qualitatively and quantitatively? And then the external accountability, developing and deploying a public dashboard so that the board, the community, and the staff are looking at those data points that I presented in our year-over-year progress. And so, some of these I added. I got this late, but I've been working on a mock-up for that community mailing. So that should be updated in your board book. But you can kind of see the general layout. I've got some feedback, of course, so I'm going to continue to work on this, but there'll be an introduction of the board and the superintendent and our goal layout. So we want to make it visually appealing. We want it to have enough content, but not be something that the community picks up and then puts right down. I think I'm most proud of this plan because it reflects, I feel like, the real feedback of the community. Becky and Donna, thank you for sitting in on those meetings, but I know you were there all along the way to see how we were able to take the community discussion meetings and the survey results and really embed them. There are so many components in this plan that have really stemmed from the voices of the students, the community members, and I think good shifts and changes in our practices over the next 5 years to hopefully, meet the needs of all of our stakeholders. So thank you all for your continued leadership and your partnership as we bring this new vision to life. Any questions, comments, thoughts?
Yeah, thank you. I guess I think I'm right on the. So it's an action item, so I'm going to entertain a motion and a second to approve, and then we'll ask questions and comments. I hereby entertain a motion and a second to approve the 5-year strategic plan as presented on July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2031.
Motion.
Moved by Roxanne, second by Johnson.
Sorry, first was by who?
Rob.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. Grimpy?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Motion.
Any
I'm sorry.
questions, comments, or feedback?
I actually, I did have feedback from the calling name, sorry guys. I appreciate both I like how you said with we don't want to have somebody just pick it up and then put it back down. I loved the graphics. So if this is your main draft, it was a really good start. It's not too much, it's not overwhelming. And then that one sheet backup with all of the additional information, really detailing, and giving more insight into how we're going to be tracking those metrics. So I appreciate you putting in all of this work along with all of the community members and the team here. So thank you. I think it's a really great place to start. So.
I think one thing that gets overlooked was how much the district saved because we didn't go to, we didn't use a firm to facilitate all of the work that went into this. But the only question I have, I guess, is maybe a deep question, but do you regret doing it yourself, or would you? And when we have to do another one, would you want to tackle it again, or would you be more interested in looking at a firm?
Yeah, I would probably ask my team because I tapped a lot of people to help get it done. But I feel like owning it and doing the process is just a value that you can't put a price on. I've sat through strategic planning sessions with firms and they come in and then they leave. And you still have to do the work. You still have to plan with your team on what's going to get done. So you have to really be intimate with why you ended up going the direction you did. So I think the costs are ridiculous that they charge for what you get. So I would absolutely do it again. I don't know if I'd do it in the same year as a negotiation, but absolutely I would do it again. But
Well, and the
it's like
results
writing a
don't look like
dissertation. I
you were
would never do that
shortchanged
again.
them.
But Huh?
The results don't look like anything was shortchanged or any corners were
No.
cut, you know, it still looks just as professional
Yeah,
as if a firm did it, so.
yeah, no, I
great
feel
job.
like, yeah, there's a lot of really good ownership in this, so. Good question.
Being on one of the strands, I was impressed with how passionate and eager and enthusiastic your staff was that I worked with to move things ahead, to come up with ideas. It was actually fun to get to know your staff on a different level, because they weren't coming in with, oh, I'm the expert, I know everything. Everybody came in saying, okay, how can we do this? What are the words we want to use? What's the goal we're going for? How are we going to measure this? And I mean, I expected them, you know, I came in with the mindset, they're the professionals, they're the experts. And it was really nice. They took some of my ideas, and it was fun to get to know everybody. So you have an excellent team, you really do.
I think that leads into my thoughts as you guys put, but like I think one of the special things about doing it in-house is that your team was so open-minded to other ideas, getting it from staff, they did student interviews, they did surveys, we did community focus groups, and it was always like all feedback was welcome and evaluated and thoughtfully thought about, versus it's hard to hear feedback that you may not like, and all ideas were on the table, nobody ever shut anything down, and I hope that by getting that feedback and involving basically the whole population, that there's buy-in and excitement to launch these goals and for the next 5 years, because I think there's a lot of work to be done here. And the other thing I wanted to point out, I think you brought it up last meeting, but there will be a place on the website where people can go and track our goals, so it'll be transparent, like how we're doing. So I think that's great. Anything else? All right, roll call.
Grimby,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Ronstadt,
Yes.
Pfister,
Yes.
Bianchini,
Yes.
Friedland, yes, Camardo.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, next is already here, start of school updates from information.
So our next meeting is still before the start of school, but I figured since I'm first on the agenda, I might as well just load it up. No, I did want to just give you a couple of highlights as the start of school is approaching. I mean, overall, we're in great shape. Our licensed staff is fully hired. We have one of our new long-term subs in the audience tonight, so thanks for joining us. We are still looking for a nurse for Prairie Trails. That has been a sticky wicket, but we are still working on that. What you see posted on the website are mostly any of the assistant positions that will be needed to be filled, cafeteria monitors. These are all normal postings this time of year. The principals come back on Monday, and that's when they begin to fill those spots. They don't want to fill them too early, and then people end up taking different jobs over the summer. Our sub posting for new subs just went up last week, so I'm going to be screening new subs for the upcoming year. So we're going to continue to train them and grow our sub pool, so that's in the works. The principals did a great job with class lists and scheduling and all of that before they left for the summer. They worked a little bit longer because we had a late start, but all of that pretty much was done before July 1st, and so they will be ready for launching all of that. And of course, transportation is this time of year craziness, getting routes and kids routed. Ryan's nodding, yes. And then we begin to onboard our new staff. And so we know with Alicia's departure and the arrival of a new person, Christy and the team have really coordinated, you know, making sure we've talked about what gaps might we need to cover. And of course, I have a great team. Everybody's willing to jump in, so we're fully prepared to onboard all of our new staff over the course of the next couple weeks. That's getting them their computers, their email, the HR types of things. And so we will, by the time I see you at the next board meeting, we will have had new teachers for 2 days, so that's exciting. That's August 10th and 11th. And then all of our staff come back August 17th. As a reminder, we have 2 days with staff now. We did have 3 days, but we've taken that day back as student attendance now that our construction projects are over. So we've got kids in seats for an extra day, which is always good. And that's it.
Thank you. Next up is business services, including the posting of the FY27 tentative budget. This is an action item. Mr. Beer, do you want to present anything, or I know you presented last?
Yeah, everything was presented last month. There's no change in the tentative budget, but if and when the board approves it tonight, the tentative budget will be posted at the district office and on the website tomorrow through September 8th, and then we'll hold a public hearing at the September 8th board meeting to approve the final budget. And then I will be sending it to the state for approval we have to do it by September 30th every year.
Okay. I hereby entertain a motion and a second to approve the 5-year strategic plan as presented July 1st, 2026 through June 30th. Oh, sorry, wrong date. I hereby entertain a motion and a second to approve displaying for review and approval the FY27 budget timeline.
So,
Moved by Friedland, second by Bianchini.
everybody good? I will take it. Bianchini? Yes. Johnson?
I have a question.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
Take questions and
Yeah.
comments, sorry.
The question is just the timeline? We're not approving, posting the tentative budget?
Second to approve displaying for review and approval.
We already approved the tentative budget, this is just to make it.
To display
To
it.
post it, but she said timeline.
Well, this is to approve the tentative budget. Last month was just for, right, and posting it. So approving the tentative budget, which allows us to post it, it needs to be
Right.
posted for 30 days.
Okay.
So
So-
last month was just information of the tentative budget. And
This
then
is-
this is the,
To approve displaying for review and approval of the FY27 budget timeline. So posting
Yes.
the timeline schedule of how it moves forward.
right, the timeline and the,
Okay, yes.
I'm gonna start over.
Okay.
Just okay, just so that I make sure that I have everything on the record. Bianchini?
Yes.
Johnson? Sorry.
Yes.
Camardo?
Yes.
Pfister?
Yes.
Grimpy?
yes.
Ronstadt?
Yes.
And Friedland, yes. Motion carries.
Staffing and enrollment update for information.
So this is just the monthly information, no additional licensed staff looking forward for this month and moving forward for the beginning of the school year. We lost a student in kindergarten, but all other grade levels that we've been watching have held steady. As Dr. Megerly did mention though, with aides being posted, we found out that 2 of the kindergartners coming into the district actually currently have IEPs that require 1-to-1. So you'll see 2 additional aides for the allocation when we look at personnel reports in the future.
Okay, thank you. Under business services, the third item is food service reorganization. This is for information.
Correct, so this, we were looking at restructuring the food service department during negotiations and then decided to push it off for the summer. That was always the plan during negotiations, and potentially add it to the contract as kind of an MOU afterwards. That was mostly because we did think we'd still be negotiating here in the middle of July. So this is information, basically a restructuring, no additional FTE, but basically having a few different levels within the department.
I think now, it's kind of being recommended that we throw it back to the negotiations team, because we're able to do that, and add in basically the restructure into the contract if we're able to TA it before, it needs to come back to the whole board. And it would come back to the whole board then as part of the contract, renewal, as opposed to just the department restructure. So, happy to answer any questions, but if everybody's okay with kind of kicking it back to the negotiations team, we'll see it eventually when we bring the contract up for approval.
So to clarify, I think there's one time they're gonna post the jobs, but we won't post the jobs until after it's in the contract is approved and.
Well, yeah, so what, we do have a meeting we have a meeting next week. And so again, like, this is a little bit out of order than what we originally planned, because we didn't think that, we would be still talking about it. However, we could pitch it, if you guys are okay with moving it forward, we could pitch it at that meeting and negotiate whatever needs to happen in there. Typically, they would review the job descriptions and approve those, and obviously the rate of pay. So we could TA that and then post the positions. We are not it's kind of a reshuffle. So the posting of positions is really to follow the terms of the contract, not to like overhaul anything. So it should just be a formality.
Any questions? Sir?
I mean, so what if the outcome is that our request is not accepted, then would we continue this restructuring anyhow, and as an MOU?
Well,
do you understand what I'm saying? Like,
if they're not gonna accept it as part of the the meeting next week or the negotiation, then they wouldn't accept it as an MOU. So
oh, true.
there would
Well, I'll
be
take it.
an issue that we would need to really
Rectify.
work out.
Okay.
Because these would be contracted employees within this, so we would wanna talk that out and
Right.
figure out what's the sticking point here and how do we fix it.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So to clarify the timelines, we're on the same page. This will be presented at the negotiations committee in August. They'll give an update, or it will come back as an action item, depending on how the meeting goes.
Yeah, I would say like we'll give an update in the notes. Never know how the meeting's gonna go. So there may or may not be something to share in August. But you'll definitely have an update in the notes, if that's the direction that the board is okay with.
Okay, I'm okay with, I understand the restructuring, I'm okay with the restructuring, if you need that direction from anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I think we wanna make sure that you all are good with it and see it first before we take it to the RTDA. Or answer any questions.
Okay, I think we're good.
Thank you.
Okay, committee updates. That's me. Operations committee met earlier this evening. We had a lot of information in the meeting. A couple of things we went over. We got a summer facility project update. Lots of refreshing of paint and cleaning of carpets and cleaning of hard to reach spaces. There were a couple of small updates they're trying to make to Prairie Trails Playground to move the fencing so there's a little more room to play for kids. The other big update is our old board meeting room at River Trails here is now going to be the choir and music room. So there was a small renovation. They took out the sink. They made it bigger for kids to sing in there, and then that means the orchestra will have their own room and they won't be meeting on the stage. These are the main updates there. And then the other two items were health, life, safety survey, and then the future facility planning. And so Mr. Berry got some more information on the contract for the health, life, safety, and basically we think we can negotiate it down further. So we're planning on moving forward with the health, life, safety from FGM. Ryan's gonna continue to negotiate the rates, but it should be under what he would need board approval. He's also working with them in the same to keep the future facility planning. They'll do both at the same time, to keep that rate under what we would need to approve. So we don't need to take action tonight on that. The negotiation continues, and Mr. Vera will bring in updated information at the next meeting to tell us how that contract landed. Okay, and then, this is fine, the president's report, so upcoming events. The Boxwood Bash is August 8th from 2 to 4:30 p.m. New staff orientation begins on August 10th. Any board members would like to attend, that would be great. So it's always a nice morning. And then we have our next board meeting on August 11th at 7 p.m. here at River Trails Middle School. 6:30 will be closed session. Potentially. Hopefully, potentially. And then, let's see, board book we had for the policy, communications to the board, we did have one email that was responded to, right? Or do we need to talk about this formal?
Well, I can just add that I'm working on a review, and so I will have something, a response to the board, just, addressing
Okay.
that
And then,
shortly.
okay. We had 3 FOIA requests this month, so thank you, Patty and Ryan, for answering those. Are there any future topic? Well, we don't have any pending future topics, but does anybody have a future topic for consideration? Hearing none. Okay. And to adjourn. We didn't even vote for this, right? All right, I hereby entertain a motion and a second to adjourn tonight's meeting at 7:38 p.m. Moved.
Second.
Moved by Bianchini, second. By Grimby.
Forgot about me already.
No, honestly, it's really hard to hear, like,
Yeah.
I know talking from that.
It's
I don't
weird
know.
having him down here too.
Like,
They're close to
In a
neighbor.
good way.
I don't even mean to sound silly, but I don't know if we're like a little bit forward, because I cannot hear the two of you. And
Second.
yes, there we go. All right, Ronstadt.
Yes.
Bianchini.
Yes.
Camardo.
Yes.
Friedland, yes. Johnson.
Yes.
Grimby.
Yes.
And Pfister.
Yes.
Motion carries. We are adjourned at 7.
Glad you waited to the end of the meeting to say you couldn't hear me.
You're welcome. Again.